All right, the real estate market in Nashville 2017 is unlike any city has ever seen. It has house hunters fearing another bubble and also a lack of affordability.
Absolutely, but along with rising prices, there's also opportunity here. Eric Egan explains how this market can still be navigated and why Nashville dreams remain a reality.
We're all living it. In fact, we're in the middle of it. It's history in the making.
Real estate hits level not seen since bubble burst.
Now is time to buy in Nashville's booming housing market.
It dominates headlines, and more record growth is forecasted.
Nashville will be the hottest city to move to in 2017.
It's all happening in a flash.
Literally on a daily basis, I may drive down a street and see a new building go up.
With 86 people a day moving to Middle Tennessee, contractors are scrambling to keep up with demand. It's the biggest and most basic reason for the price surge. Yet that surge is scaring first-time home buyers.
Looking online every single day was exhausting.
Lindsay LaPara sums up hundreds, if not thousands, of house hunters.
So how long have you been in the house?
Well, we've been here since August.
She and her husband purchased in the summer. It was an experience.
There were moments where he would say, should we just not buy a house? Like, are we crazy?
Fear and frustration can accompany rapid growth. LaPara's budget was below $200,000. In late 2016, Nashville's median home price rose to $260,000. And how about the hottest zip codes at the moment? In East Nashville, price per square foot shot up to $208 last September. For a 2,500 square foot house, that's more than $520,000. In the 12 South Green Hills part of town, during that time, the rate was $270 a square foot. The same size house will cost $675,000. It's unprecedented for Music City. Local real estate agent and investor Robert Jimmer.
Not only are home values going up, but land values have gone up drastically here in the last 12 to 18 months.
Jimmer will argue it's the sharpest jump in Nashville's history. In the same breath, he'll say this is not the same market from a decade ago in danger of a bubble. Pricing is not reckless. Rates are low historically. Job and population growth and demand protect us.
So how do you navigate this market? We have suggestions people may not be telling you about. First things first, get with a lender and find out how much you can afford.
The last thing you want is to go take a look at a home for, let's say, $300,000 and find out that you're only qualified to buy a $200,000 house.
Second, find an agent who knows about properties before they hit the market. They could give you the inside track on your dream house.
It's very important that if you're looking to be in a specific neighborhood, to work with an agent that's familiar with that neighborhood.
And it's okay to interview agents. It might be a red flag if they specialize in homes that are outside of your budget.
Do they work with first-time home buyers that are looking to buy a $100,000 house? They may not be as connected with those lower-priced homes.
We just went in that neighborhood. Yeah.
Remember Lindsay LaPara? She wanted to live in East Nashville. Walkability to coffee shops and bookstores was high on her wish list, but homes within her budget were slim pickings.
Just like not livable, like holes in the wall or...
And you were in those homes because
they were in our price range and they were, you know, where we wanted to be.
Yeah.
And had walkability.
She's north of East now, but says the sacrifice was worth it.
It may not be in the exact location that we want, but it's 5 to 7 minutes from everything we do. You have to give up some things. You know, you have to trade.
Our city is on an upward trajectory. The cranes that dot the downtown skyline remind us we're changing, and Nashville will never be the same.
When people look back at 2010 to 2020, they'll see the growth of Nashville as an incredibly exciting time.
A memorable movement forward, a city on the brink of a rebirth.
Well, it was once the place to be. Beginning in the 1970s, the Nashville community of Antioch thrived, enjoying a boom in population and in business.
Over the years, things changed, crime increased, and businesses moved out. Josh Breslow takes a look at Antioch over the years and the effort to revitalize it in this Nashville 2017 report.
We're too big to be a nice, quaint East Nashville, you know.
90,000 people.
We're not a Brentwood.
Along a heavily traveled Interstate 24.
You're 8 miles from downtown, you're 7 miles from the airport.
Its exact boundaries seem to be up for debate.
All of Antioch is not alike. I've heard people say Upper Antioch and Lower Antioch.
The common zip, 37013.
It was the only zip code that was growing.
Once a farming community in southeast Davidson County, the 1970s brought about a more suburban feel. Apartments and construction of the Hickory Hollow Mall and the Starwood Amphitheater. From that point on, Antioch's population exploded, more than doubling from about 35,000 in 1990 to an estimated 90,000 based on the most recent American Community Survey. But with that boom, Metro Councilwoman Jacobia Dowell says, came overcrowded schools, heavy traffic congestion, and an uptick in crime.
It's a densely populated area. It's just like downtown. You're going to have people make bad decisions. But one of the biggest things we've dealt with is property crime.
With the closing of Starwood in 2006 and the mall's eventual downfall, businesses packed up and moved out of Antioch. Enter Ben Freeland, who in 2008 bought a dead dealership and transformed it into the largest Chevy dealer in Tennessee.
Everybody was kind of confused by the mall going out of business, and they thought that was the future of the area, was the demise of the mall. But I really saw the growth underneath it, so I took a chance. Everybody warned me not to buy the dealership, but I went ahead and moved forward with it.
When Freeland moved here, there wasn't much in this area, but as you can see over the years, that's changed.
We've had some wonderful business champions in this area.
Over the last 5 years, Metro Councilwoman Dowell says nearly a dozen big companies have moved to Antioch, while stores and shops pop up all over. And it seems more people are buying homes and more families are moving in.
When people can't afford to really get closer into town, they're looking for what can they get, how much house can they get and bang for their buck. So they're looking in places like Antioch for more affordable housing options.
As for that uptick in crime, over the last 12 weeks of 2016, Metro Police reported 4 of the top 13 intersections for violent crime in Nashville were in Antioch zip code. Several spots along Bell Road made that list. But over the same period, some good news, 0 spots in Antioch made the list of top areas for property crime.
Well, we've proven that the crime rates here are lower than the average in Nashville. In fact, some of the lowest anywhere in Metro Nashville.
With job growth over the next 10 years predicted at about 41% for Antioch, the 37013 shows no sign of letting up.
When people ask about the future of this community, I tell them I have absolutely no doubt that it will be thriving and it will be one of those places to be.
In Antioch, Josh Breslow, News 2.
And something that might surprise you, the average age of people living in Antioch, about 32 years old.
Ben Freeland says a lot of young people and college graduates have moved to the area because of its affordability and its growth potential. Now, coming up at 5 in our Nashville 2017 segment, see the new Bridgestone headquarters and find out why it wanted to stay in Nashville.
Then at 6:30, I'm hosting a live town hall meeting about the epic growth going on in Nashville and Middle Tennessee. Nashville Mayor Megan Barry will be one of our guests and will talk to us about what the city is doing to handle all the challenges that come with the growing population.
Nashville is growing, with 30,000 new people per year calling Middle Tennessee home. Growing pains have spilled into the streets. Traffic trouble driving people to vent to a stranger with a sign. How would you describe it?
Nobody knows how to drive.
Say it again.
Nobody in this city knows how to drive.
How would you describe it?
Unbelievable.
Where can I start?
But change is coming. Long-term change in a long-term plan, dubbed Middle Tennessee Connected, put in place by the Nashville Area Metropolitan Planning Organization, or MPO.
We're the place that brings together city and county mayors and planners to help establish a process to evaluate, prioritize, and allocate federal dollars for transportation investments.
The population hike causing a spike in car crashes. Nashville MPO compiled all wrecks in the region over a 5-year period. Every dot seen here, a collision reported in Middle Tennessee. Gridlock, now just another part of Tennessee life.
There's not enough road for the cars. You need more. It's a capacity problem.
It's no secret, in Nashville and across Middle Tennessee, roads are more congested than ever before. And should nothing change, your work commute is expected to more than double in the coming decades.
We've gotten to a point where, particularly in Middle Tennessee, the pain is starting to become significant, and I think it's affecting quality of life.
Middle Tennessee Connected hopes to lower congestion by offering more public transit, more commuter rail systems, an emphasis on biking and walking paths, and upgrading Nashville's aging interstate infrastructure. A 25-year plan with an estimated $8.6 billion price tag.
Interstates that loop downtown were built at a time when the population and downtown as a whole was a completely different animal.
But nearly $9 billion won't cover all. A number of plans highlighted in gray not making the cut.
We did not have the funding available over the next 25 years to invest in those at this point.
Most of the federal and state dollars come from an aging gas tax. A raise in transportation funds likely meaning higher taxes for Tennesseans.
I already think our taxes here are high, so I don't know.
But it might be the only way for a state and region quickly running out of roads and options. Adam Snyder, News 2. This East Nashville dream is under construction.
Look, we've been passionate about this forever.
A passion project just a hair behind schedule.
Guaranteed summer. We're not pushing it past the summer yet.
Craig and his team have collectively worked in food for more than 30 years, leaving the West Coast.
Flow into the kitchen.
For a crack at Tennessee cuisine.
We've run really successful restaurants for other people. It's time for us to run our own restaurant.
Now, Peninsula Restaurant is nearly a reality. One of 111 restaurants opening this year. An industry on fire that continues to swell.
Some days I need triple caffeine to recharge the batteries.
Randy Rayburn is a staple in Nashville food. With Midtown Cafe, serving the Metro for more than a quarter century.
We're kind of proud to be old school. We've been here for 30 years.
Over the last 10, Randy's watched the restaurant roller coaster climb to new heights.
We've just had a plethora, a flood, literally, of new restaurant openings over the last 6 years.
And the numbers prove that as Nashville booms, so too does food. With Metro Public Health reporting back in 2007, there were roughly 3,200 food permits through the Department of Health. And that number has grown by nearly 25% in just 10 years. Numbers echoed by the Bureau of Labor Statistics, with a near 20% increase in metro area restaurants over a 4-year period. A steamy industry now spilling into the streets.
You want any cheese or anything like that on it?
It's lunch rush for the Steaming Goat.
Hey Mario, you're all set.
Jeff Romstead is the owner and namesake.
My nickname growing up was the Goat because I was the guy that ate everything.
Jeff left behind a 9-to-5 job for food trucks years ago.
This is our house coleslaw. It has a ginger poppy seed dressing.
Taking his unique take on a Cuban to the people.
Wait till you try it. I always wanted to do something like this and just decided to go ahead and do it.
A member of the Nashville Food Truck Association, an organization with less than 12 trucks 6 years ago that's now ballooned to 82.
What one person may see competition, we see it as camaraderie.
3 businesses, 3 different paths. The problem, experts argue, all are dipping into the same pool.
We actually employ 1 out of every 10 adults in Davidson County. Everybody's competing for the same labor pool.
While new restaurants fight for name recognition and fight for funds to fuel their dream.
The hard part is transitioning that passion into asking for money. It's not a super profitable business. Like, you can pretty much estimate what your ceiling is.
With their minds on the ceiling, Peninsula still needs a floor. And the stakes are high for this cross-country dream, just weeks away from opening day.
Music City, USA. Take one look around and it's clear Nashville is booming.
Because Nashville's growing so fast, we're all competing for the best players.
With roughly 80 people moving here every day. And 100 new restaurants opening each year. It's no wonder why companies are flocking to the IT City.
This is kind of the community that we wanted to be in.
And with all that new business comes new opportunities.
We like to try to do things a little bit outside of the box.
What's happening right now will shape the city's future. So tonight, we dig deeper. What will the Nashville of tomorrow look like? And who will be calling the shots?
You have to take conversation to action.
This is a News 2 Town Hall meeting, Nashville 2017. Here's Bob Mueller.
And good evening, everyone, and welcome to our second Nashville 2017 Town Hall meeting as we continue our year-long commitment to examining growth in Nashville and Middle Tennessee.